do it. Welcome, everyone, to episode 125 of the Looks Like a Movie podcast. My name's Kevin. I'm here with Doug and Owen, and today we are talking about Jurassic World Rebirth. But first, as always, we could talk about what we watched this past week. Let's switch up the order. Let's have Doug go first because of your background.
It
for
was
the video
fire
watchers.
and ice over there.
Does this have to do with what you watched, or is this just like for fun?
It was just for well,
It's
it was
just
like I
vibes.
need to have a green screen background because of my current situation.
Sure. And you just picked
and
this.
yeah, this is a Detective D2,
Right.
I believe.
Okay. So you did not watch that this past week.
No, but I've seen it before. It's good. It's Chow Hawk directed that. It's good. No, so this week I watched Breaking News in order. I watched Breaking News on the 2nd, which is one of the more popular Johnny To films. But I was kind of looking at a little bit of Johnny To talk that's going to happen here. So I was kind of looking at Johnny To's filmography. Nobody's seen any of his movies. Like, I follow people that have seen a lot of his movies, but like his most popular movie is The Heroic Trio, and that's 26,000 logs. Like nobody's seen any of these fucking movies, and it's like there's so many like just kind of incredible, super entertaining, super unbelievably well made genre films in here that just nobody has watched. It's crazy how just that happens.
Is this like a problem with like just the people who watch his movies are not using Letterboxd like American audiences are using Letterboxd?
Yeah, no, that's so we're Johnny To. This is also just an interesting thing culturally because Hollywood is in America, right? So we and all three of us are American, so we view cinema
Good geography lesson.
No, but like so we view cinema through like this like American lens, like this is how we culturally understand it.
Yeah,
but somebody like Johnny To, who he's not like Steven Spielberg, right? But he's like a popular filmmaker. Like he's like a trying to think, he's kind of like Quentin Tarantino, I want to say, but like culturally, but like in Hong Kong though, and that doesn't stretch over culturally to America.
So you would say that is the reason for the lack of logs? It's just like a letterbox thing.
Yeah, because yes,
people have seen these movies.
Gotcha. Because I think I was thinking about this a little bit. Because one of the movies I watched this week had like a couple hundred logs, and I think a big reason for that was just like the accessibility of that movie. And I think it's interesting, especially thinking about it like a letterbox centric viewpoint of like which movies are popular and which I've seen. But it's also, I don't know about the specific movie you're talking about, but a lot of things just kind of like exist and just kind of float around there. I mean, the things you're talking about are probably more popular, but there's a lot of movies that are just like on Letterboxd, no one's talking about them. And they're somewhere online, and that's kind of the thing with movies. It's just like there's just gonna be a billion of them, and you're never gonna see all of them. But I don't know. It's interesting with a Letterboxd, thinking about it with Letterboxd, because most people are just watching like the popular.
Most people are watching
Jurassic World Rebirth,
K-pop Demon Hunters.
Which is
another movie I watched this week.
There you go. Good segue.
Quick Google search just to try to gauge like how many Letterboxd users are from different places. It looks like 34% of Letterboxd users are from the US,
and
then second place is the UK, so that's just like more English language movies, and even second place goes from 34% to 6%. And then Brazil is 5.8%.
I was gonna guess Brazil.
Well, that's why I said.
And that goes down from there to like France, India. But even like those, like by India, you're already at 3%, and that's the 5th most.
Isn't Letterboxd based in Australia or New Zealand?
In New Zealand, yeah, but nobody lives in New Zealand.
Sure.
Sure. But yeah, so it looks like it's definitely partially a Letterboxd thing, at least.
Yeah, it's a Hollywood centric app.
Anyway, Doug.
K-pop Demon Hunters is a new Netflix original film. It's very popular. The people are watching this. It has, speaking of Letterboxd watches, it has 350,000 logs on Letterboxd.
Damn.
My little brother watched this movie.
I saw your little brother liked it. I saw that. Yeah.
I was like, what the? I've seen it. I know nothing about it. I just have.
Oh, this is like a Netflix thing.
I've seen all people log it. I have no idea what's going on here.
Yeah, I just threw it on. I had to do I had like 2 hours to kill, and I was just like opened up Netflix on my laptop, and I just was like, fuck it, dude. Like I was like, I needed something that I could be interrupted during, you know?
Yeah.
And I just threw it on and I watched the whole thing, and I was like, I was trying to, because it's again super outside of my comfort zone in the sense like I would like, it's not the kind of thing I would normally watch. I
Yeah,
was trying to really like approach it
engage with it.
pragmatically, like yeah, engage with it and see like, oh, like what do people like about this? Why is this popular? You know, and
Sure.
it reminds me of a lot of like made for TV, like straight to DVD kind of cartoons that I would have been
Okay.
into when I was like 12, but it's like a little bit like more expensive. Like the animation feels a little bit more expensive and stuff like that
Yeah.
when I was a kid, at least, because it's really like just super fucking straightforward, like K-pop demon hunters. You get what you sign up for.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the only negative review on my Letterboxd. Probably because anybody else who would review it negatively did not watch it.
Yeah, well, because it's
Sure.
like you look at the poster and it's like you can kind of just figure it out, you know? It's
Yeah, I was like sort of interested in like it as like a concept, but I'm not interested enough to like actually watch it.
like
Yeah, you're
narratively,
interested in like its existence, but
it's like
not
whatever, dude.
Yeah,
And like
no.
there's like original songs in it, and I'm
Shout
like
out K-pop.
also like whatever. But
Wait,
it's
so are
cool.
the voice actors like the people who are in a famous K-pop band, or are they just like actors?
No, I think they're just actors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the
No,
lead was in Teen
I was
Wolf.
looking
So
at
that
it.
so it's not based on a real K-pop band. It's just like
No, I
based
don't
on some
believe
fictional
so.
band. Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
It's just more like K-pop as the idea, which K-pop
Yeah,
is
okay.
a whole interesting cultural thing.
Yeah, that's the furthest I feel like from a cultural thing. You know what I mean? Like that's like when you think of like giant subsets of the internet, that's the one that I feel I'm most divided from, where it's like there's just whole worlds that I don't know exist. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah. So K-pop demon hunters. I don't know why I said it like that. K-pop demon hunters, like a. Listen, you know if you like it. That's my recommendation. And then I watched Mad Detective, which this is I think the only Johnny Toe film that Owen has seen. Uh,
Yeah.
Owen watched it at the retrospective like screenings that were happening in New York last year. Mad Detective really struck me. This movie is so crazy. Uh, this movie like really hit me because it made me realize like the more of Johnny Toe's filmography I kind of get through, because I'm like really getting through it. It's like it feels like an endless wealth of like creativity, where it's like every movie is like so different and so creative in surprising ways than the last. Like I watched Mad Detective and I was like, oh, I don't know, like Sean Law isn't like one of my favorite Hong Kong actors, and he's like the lead in this. And I don't really know a lot of other guys. And it's like he's made other detective movies, and I was like, oh, what's like the spin on this one? And I was stunned because I was like, oh, it's about a guy that's fucking crazy, but it's not like but then there's like a spiritual twist to it where it's like he sees like who people really are, you know, but like in like a very literal way, where he sees the plot of the movie is like he's he's investigating this cop that killed his partner, and he could see people's inner personalities, and he sees 7 people. Whenever he sees this guy, he's looking at a group of 7 people that are there. And it's just creative. That's just so interesting. It's like I've never seen a movie like just have an idea so specific like that and just tackle it and handle it in the most like direct way possible, where it's like, yeah, there's just 7 people there, and it cuts and you see, you know,
Very
it's
crazy
awesome.
movie to watch in the theater, like exhausted, like kind of like got like coming in out of focus, and then like be like, this is insane.
Yeah, and like it's just like crazy stuff happens every 5 seconds in the movie where he's like, I have to bury myself, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, no, cool movie.
And he pees on a guy's leg who turns into another guy who turns into a lady.
Yeah,
It's awesome. It's so sick. Yeah, so that's Mad Detective. And then I watched the last movie I watched this week, other than our topic of this episode, is a romantic comedy called Needing You.
Oh, yeah. This is also a Johnny Depp movie, right?
Johnny Toe, yeah. I watched this
This looks...
last night. This movie is really good. It's God, dude. No, it's so there's so many worlds out there, bro. It's like I was thinking about when I first got into movies, right? Not just like oh, when I first like was like liking movies, you know, which it's been my whole life. When I first like kind of like got into Letterboxd and was like researching directors and like then like you know like learning about what American New Wave is and stuff, right? I was thinking about like then like that guy and how that guy didn't fucking know anything and how there were entire universes out there that he's not privy to, because now I'm like in the weeds of like Hong Kong cinema. I've seen so many of these movies throughout like years. It's been years now of me just watching like Hong Kong movies super regularly. So like all of these actors who are like, oh, there's like a random guy in this movie is now like, now I'm like, oh no, this guy is one of the goats. Like this guy is in everything and he's awesome. So Needing You is a romantic comedy starring Andy Lau and Sammy Cheng. And those two guys are the best guys. Those are my two. Like I would watch anything with either of these two guys in them. And what I think is interesting, again, like doing research and like just learning more about this, both of them are like more famous for being like pop singers than they are for being actors, and both of them are in like 100 movies. Like Andy Lau is literally in 150 movies. He's in like 4 Wong Kar-wai movies. He's in like a dozen Johnny To movies. He's just like in fucking everything, bro. uh and Kevin, we watched a moment, no, what was it called?
Romancing in Thin Air.
Yes, Romancing in Thin Air. This is it's Andy Lau and Semi Cheng. It's the same
It's the same duo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except
that's exciting.
15 years earlier in this movie.
Yeah. Well, you did say they're in a number of movies together, right?
They're in like 7 Johnny To movies together.
Yeah.
As like, and
great.
they're all like romantic comedies.
That's exciting. I'll watch all 7 of them.
My that was terrible microphone practice. There's just a whole world out there. It's crazy. Yeah, so that's what I did this week.
Okay. What did you do this week, Owen?
A little bit less, but you know, chugging along. I watched this movie Museum Hours, Jem Cohen. I'm not too like privy to his filmography. I've seen a couple of his shorts. But my understanding this is like either first or only like narrative feature. It might just be his only narrative feature. And it's about these two people. One of them is a security guard who works in an art museum, and then this other is like this Canadian woman who is just like visiting her cousin who's in the hospital, and she kind of like doesn't know the area at all. And they kind of like have this connection. Really beautiful movie that I really loved a lot. I definitely recommend that. It was on the Criterion channel.
Shout out. Oh my gosh.
And then I watched Le Bonheur, the Agnes Varda movie. Just continuing to like kind of exclusively outside of museum hours, just watch like 60s, 70s French movies. That like really gorgeous colors in that one. And then one of my mutuals logged this movie, and it had like 180 people who had logged in Letterbox. It's Les Cinephiles, or the Cinephiles, and it's an 1989 French film that is very clearly inspired by the Romers of the world, and it's just young people standing around talking about movies and talking about wanting to go to see a movie or whether they should go to the movie or not. Like a 70-minute movie. There's 3 of them. This is like the first one, but it's like a super cute, French movie about movies. It's really great. Definitely recommend if you can find that one. And then I watched A Tale of Springtime, another Romer. That was really good.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, I've seen a few. I started another one that I have to finish after this.
That's another tale or a different movie?
It's the what the fuck's the title? It's like The Tree. I don't think you've seen this one. The Tree, the Mayor, and the Media Thick. The Media.
Oh.
It's really good so far.
Okay. I will watch it at some point.
Media I don't know how to say that word. But that one's really good. I also like the Tale of Springtime. That one's interesting. But yeah, Romero's great. Trying to watch more of his movies. Been just continuing to like exclusively again, like I said, watch these French movies. But that is pretty much all so far.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I didn't watch a lot either because I was busy spending the weekend celebrating America. But
interesting.
Yeah, not a lot of French movies.
You would be super patriotic right now.
No, strictly American movies for me. I watched Anchorman: The Legend of Ron Burgundy. The first Anchorman movie, not to be confused with Anchorman 2, something, I don't know what the title is, but
no, interesting. What's that movie about? What goes on there?
Will Ferrell plays an Anchorman. Listen, it's funny. It's pretty funny.
Who would win in a fight? Anchorman, Ron Burgundy, or Stephen A. Smith?
Like a verbal fight, or like a
fight at the polls. Like, who would get more votes in an election to be president?
Oh, I mean, the people love Ron Burgundy. I don't know that people really love Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith.
At least the people of San Diego love Ron Burgundy.
Stephen A. Smith said trans rights, though.
Did he?
Yeah, I don't know if Ron Burgundy would do that, but I feel like between this movie and the second movie, and now in 2025, Ron Burgundy has probably changed his views a little bit, because also the thing about Anchorman is that it takes place in like the 70s or something, right? So like in 2025,
so he's
yeah, I think so. So I think in 2025, Ron Burgundy is actually like only in like the 90s or something. So he might be down with trans rights by the time he gets to like the modern day.
He might be down with the dolls.
But he might be dead and not able to.
Yeah, he
to
might be really old.
Smith.
So he's like old enough to run.
But that actually might be perfect. Yeah. Anyway, the movie's pretty fun. I've kind of been on this like hill for a while, but like don't really like Adam McKay. This is probably the closest he's gotten to like making a good movie. Like Anchorman is the best Adam McKay movie, I think, by a good stretch.
What else did he do?
I don't know that he'll ever like get. What else did
Succession.
he do?
He was Succession.
He produced Succession. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Make
Hear what episodes?
Yeah, maybe. Did he? Is that true?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I mean, I like it more than Step Brothers. I like it a little bit more than Talladega Nights. I surely don't like any of the movies he's made recently. So the Anchorman beats those out. And then I watched Before Sunrise again because my girlfriend and I have talked about watching that for a while, and we finally decided to do that. Not much to say about Before Sunrise, about as good as it was the last time we talked about it on the podcast. So I watched Jurassic World Rebirth, which we'll talk about, and I watched Tangled the other night because we were
why did you do that?
So I didn't want to be fair.
I know, I saw that you logged it, but you don't use tags, so I was just like staring at it, wondering what the situation was.
But so we went to my girlfriend's grandmother's house for the 4th of July for like a little family party type of thing, and we were playing Wavelength, like the you guys know Wavelength, listeners know the game Wavelength. We were playing Wavelength, and I think it was my girlfriend who got a prompt that was like good Disney character, bad Disney character, and she used a character from Tangled in her example. And so after that happened, everybody at the table was like, oh, we should watch Tangled tonight. And I was like, I don't know if I really want to do that. But then we ended up watching Tangled because everybody
Zachary Levi's best work, some say.
And yeah, well, I mean, listen, not much competition, so I might agree with you, but and it's like the movie's fine. It's like very cute. It was funny because while we were like about to start the movie, I just like scrolled Letterboxd and I realized that people really like Tangled, and I just went through my ratings, and the only 2 negative ratings were my 2 podcast co-hosts.
That's like a fake. It's like a fake rating.
Literally,
it's like a
literally like everybody
rating.
is like 4+ stars, and then you 2 are just like 2 stars, and I was like, well,
I don't have Tangled at 2 stars.
You have it at like 2.5, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's fair, and it'll stay there.
Yeah, listen, it's not great. I
know.
I gave it 3 stars. It's like it's cute. I just like I don't know.
Think that I think the Florence Pugh AI Tangled movie should get made?
I don't think it should get made. Okay. No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know that I'd want to watch another Tangled movie at all, really. I think I'm probably good in that universe, but I'm glad people like it. So, I mean, people really like that movie because I was looking at the Letterboxd average is like a 4.0, and I know that came out at a pretty similar or like pretty either soon after or soon before or right before Frozen. And like Frozen is like a 3.6 on Letterboxd, and you know Frozen was a big craze, so it's like people must really like Tangled. To be fair, it's better than Frozen. I'll say that. I don't like Frozen, so
Sure.
but it was just like I don't know. If I watched it in 2010 when it came out, I would have been like, oh, this is cute. And now I'm just kind of like, oh, this is
yeah,
cute.
it was
But,
cute
like,
when I saw it when I was 7.
yeah, exactly.
I didn't even really like it as a kid, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like I would have liked it as a kid for
Mm.
sure. I just like I don't know. It just didn't really get me this time. I was also like kind of in a like I just wasn't in the mood to watch the movie, so I really like I kind of went in expecting to not like it.
What
Like
studio is that Frozen and Tangled and
Disney.
Is that not Disney?
Is it just Disney Animated
but it's
Studios?
just like it's just Disney, like the studio, and not Pixar specifically.
Well, yeah, I know it was in Pixar. Yeah, I don't think I just don't care for that era,
like Disney animation.
At all, really. To be honest,
I like the old Disney animation like quite a bit.
Well, like Snow White and stuff, and
like, like the really old movies.
When Walt Disney was actually alive making movies, of course.
Yeah, but not
Walt Disney's like one of the
shout out
50 most important filmmakers.
Sure. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that was my weekend. And I ate some hot dogs.
I just ate a fucking hot dog too. Did you see the news article though?
About hot dogs?
Yeah, they're saying housing glizzies is really bad for you.
That they told me this. They told me that a long time. Wait, housing that like they're like someone's coming after them?
So this week we're talking about Jurassic World.
Yeah, what do you mean by housing now?
We're talking about Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yeah, we're talking about Jurassic World Rebirth. Let's talk about the Jurassic franchise, because the title of this movie is Rebirth.
Let's franchise.
So I have questions.
Let's pick apart what Jurassic World Rebirth means.
What the hell does a Jurassic movie mean?
Yeah, that's a good question actually as well. So the thing is like I wanted to spend the week leading up to seeing this movie, rewatching the Jurassic Park movies. Yeah. I rewatched the first one last week, and then I was kind of just like, I don't really want to rewatch the other ones. And I haven't seen 2 and 3 since I was a kid, so I don't remember them very well, but I know that the plot to 3, and other people have said this, is pretty much just the plot to this movie. Like Jurassic World Rebirth is pretty much just stealing the plot of Jurassic Park 3. Not bar for bar, but like very similar things happen in the way it's set up and all that. It's like the plane crashes on an island and they're like stuck there, and it's like it's very similar, but I don't remember all the details of Jurassic Park 3. It does, even though it steals the plot from the Jurassic Park 3, it does mostly try to steal like the magic of the first Jurassic Park. There's like a lot of like just a lot of reference to the first movie. like a lot of reference to the first movie. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think Rebirth means? Is this like
it's not real yet?
Titling movies is difficult sometimes, don't you think?
Sure. I just feel like they could have like...
I think sequels are maybe hard, but like I think a movie kind of has, like Jurassic Park, like that's just like it has a title, right? So it's like boom. But now, what do you name this? Yeah. The 7th one, you know?
Yeah, I wish they
should have gone crazy. They should have called this Jurassic Park 7. Or wait, it would have been.
Yeah, I wish they. Well, if they just said Jurassic Park
Rebirth really
instead of Jurassic World Rebirth, and that's the problem is that it's not a park.
Wait.
But if you brought back the Jurassic Park title, I think it would make more sense.
They should have called it Jurassic Island.
Sure. That'd be cool.
Because they're on an island.
They're on an island.
Dinosaurs.
I mean, but they're also on an island in the first movie. You know,
but the first one's called Jurassic Park.
Yeah. No, but you know what I mean? It's like I feel like based on what happens in this movie,
does not happen on an island.
Yeah, well, based on what happens in this movie, what they're trying to rebirth is Jurassic Park, not Jurassic World.
Yes,
you know,
should be Jurassic Park Rebirth,
because this has nothing to do with Jurassic World. They're just like bringing back scenes from Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the
they even brought back the writer for. You know,
yeah, they even brought back well, we'll talk about that.
What the fuck was he?
That requires a longer conversation.
Was he drunk? Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, we don't have. I don't know. Do you guys were saying off pod that you don't really care about this franchise? I guess
I don't understand it.
Well, I think this is a really good example of something that happens sometimes, where like a movie gets made, and like the movie does really well, and then just a bunch of other movies. It's just a bunch of fucking sequels.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Without context of the original movie, like this movie, I don't understand the franchise outside of there's dinosaurs.
Like
that's
that's
just the whole
that's
thing.
what the movies are. But it's just like these were the first people to just like make a movie.
What would you say like the
genre
genre
in
of
this way?
Jurassic movies
Like
are?
action thriller.
It's an adventure movie.
It's an adventure, yeah, but it's like
they go on an
adventure.
Like,
nah, yeah, but it's more just like
science fiction.
Yeah, sci-fi maybe. Sci-fi probably is the
I mean, the first one was very science fiction. There's a lot of science fiction elements in the first one because you have Jeff Goldblum explaining like the DNA of the mosquito, and like here's how we're gonna bring back the dinosaurs, and like going through it and stuff.
And then
which is cool.
And this one, they're like, we're gonna go to an island, and then they get on a boat.
Yeah,
and then like 40 minutes later,
Also, necessary context for you is that so which Jurassic movies have you seen, like out of any of them?
I've seen, I mean, it's been a long time. I've seen the first two Worlds, I think.
Okay.
Because like my little brother really liked them, and we saw them in the theater. Like, that's the only that's the only reason why I've seen like,
okay, I guess you don't need much context. It's just like it's a weird setup in this movie, which is that like the dinosaurs are just like living freely in this movie, but they have like now they're only in this section of the world because
and that happens in the World.
Survive. Yeah, and that happens in the World movie, so it's not even really related to the Jurassic Park movies.
It's just complicated because like it's like the first Jurassic Park movie creates a universe, and then all of these other movies are just trying to like
this feels like a filler episode.
Yeah. No, I mean the problem is just that
what the fuck is going on?
There's you'd have to, I don't know. There's probably tons of examples of this, but like this is a real like first movie in the franchise is kind of all you need deal, and now we're at number 7.
Jurassic Park 7. This
crazy.
Is
and that's not to say that like I'd have to rewatch 2 and 3 to like really have a solid opinion, but I feel like I'd like them at least more than the Jurassic World movies.
We should go through the directors for each of these movies real quick.
Yes.
So it starts off
why not?
Jurassic Park, which is an adaptation of a book that people say is quite good. That is a movie that was produced and directed by Steven Spielberg during what a lot of people consider like it was like in the middle of what a lot of people consider like one of the all-time like creative runs for a filmmaker. It's also like an all-time run at the box office at the time too. Commercially, nobody was doing pop cinema as successfully as Spielberg was. Jurassic Park was an international phenomenon, right? Then they made a second one, which
also directed by Steven Spielberg.
Also directed by Steven Spielberg. There's some like behind the scenes stuff about that. Also written by David Koepp again. They brought back everybody. I haven't seen this movie. My understanding is like this is a weird one. Right? I don't know if Kevin, you have more details about this because I didn't do research, but like my understanding.
No, I mean I haven't watched it since I was maybe 12, so this is like memory's a little shot on that one.
This is like a kind of like what happened movie where it's like it was like it made so much money that like everybody had to come back and do a sequel, but Spielberg wasn't exactly like Jurassic Park 2.
Next director is
Joe Johnston. One of the goats.
Directed the first Captain America movie, right?
The first Captain America movie, the first Jumanji movie, the first Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movie. Insane like
journeyman
guy that doesn't exist anymore.
Literally, I mean,
we'll
get to the newer guys. Kind of feel similar, at least. Like they're our version of.
Gareth Edwards is kind of like this too, in a way.
Tell us who's here before Gareth Edwards.
So then we have what I would call the Colin Trevorrow era. Colin Trevorrow,
which is,
if you are a fan of
the middle of the era, is not Colin.
He wrote the second one though.
Okay, sure,
so
which is like really ridiculous.
If you are a fan, listener, if you are a fan of the YouTube channel Red Letter Media, you're probably already aware of this, but Colin Trevorrow, one of the biggest hacks in all of Hollywood, because he also, at the same time that he was becoming the guy, the orchestrator of Jurassic Park to bring the whole franchise back, and he envisioned this Jurassic World franchise, basically, right? That was all him. He did the same fucking shit with Star Trek. He also brought Star Trek back. He was the showrunner for the new revival Star Trek series, that Star Trek Discovery, which everybody said was really fucking bad.
And he did a whole Star Wars like thing. He didn't end up doing it, but he had like a whole script for, I think, the third one in the new.
Yeah. He's like
where did he come from though?
Well, that's the thing. Where did he come from, right? He huge hack. He had to have come from TV.
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
Because I guess he made this movie Safety Not Guaranteed with Aubrey Plaza.
Mm-hmm. Jake Johnson's in that too.
And then boom, you're Spielberg's heir. Like how?
No, literally, like
yeah.
No, it's like really all the trust in the world, all of the free reigns for both Jurassic Park and Star Trek at the same time, and both of them are fucking terrible. One of the biggest hacks in the whole world. Fucking Jurassic World. I'll say it. It's a bad movie. I don't know if
yeah.
I wouldn't Jurassic World defender.
But
you wouldn't. You're a Jurassic World guy.
I'd defend it. I'd defend it.
Colin Trevorrow and Chris Pratt. You're like, I any movie with those two guys, you're down.
No, I'd defend it as far as like this is decent and I like dinosaurs kind of thing.
Okay.
But it does start to like the trend of like sins in this franchise that just can't be forgiven.
I'd much rather, not to jump too far ahead, I'd much rather watch this new incoherent mess than those two or three movies.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the second one is by directed by J.A. Bayona, but it's still very much a Colin Trevorrow movie in terms of like,
he's
the guy envisioning it,
which is
weird. And then he comes back to make the worst movie probably in history.
Yeah. And then the third one is J.A. Bayona, a guy that we're not a fan of on the podcast.
Yeah, Society of the Snow.
Yeah, Society of the Snow, which we
reviewed
quite negatively.
Weird guy that exists.
Yeah.
And then
didn't he also direct that movie with Tom Holland?
The Beach. No, it's not The Beach. The Impossible or whatever.
No, it's like it's like the one with the tsunami or whatever.
Yeah. Mission Impossible.
That's like another natural disaster. That's like similar to Society of the Snow, though. No, it's like, is this like his like specialty?
Yeah, and then there's that scene where they're in those balls in Jurassic World.
Yeah, and then Jurassic World Dominion came out and everybody watched it and was like, why is this movie about farming and bugs?
And it still made $1 billion, by the way, which
Sam Neill and Bryce and Laura Dern are in it for some reason.
Yeah, they are. This movie, this new one, is opening with over 300 million worldwide, probably on track to cross that $1 billion line, unless Superman has something to say about it, unless Superman stops it from making money in the next couple weeks. This will be another success, so I think it's
sequel's
worth
going to happen.
Talking about
Jurassic World Rebirth 2 is going to happen, and
that's where I was headed. Is like it's like not just Jurassic World Rebirth, and it's not just a standalone movie. It's like clearly they're gonna do a new trilogy, I guess.
It pushed Scarlett Johansson over the top. She's now she's the highest grossing actor of all time.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like of all of the cumulative box office of all the movies she's in is a higher number than any other actor in history.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And Truth Bomb, Jurassic World Rebirth, directed by Gareth Edwards. Bad movie.
Not great.
Question.
Yeah.
Because these movies all make, it feels like a Star Wars thing, but these movies all make a ton of money. But when you talk to people who are even fans of the franchise, it feels like it's similar, like some people how they view Star Wars, where like there's not a lot of great, like some of them are bad, like considered bad movies, even though they've made billions of dollars. Like do the average Jurassic World fan, because like we kind of mentioned this, but big crowds, people showing up. Does the average guy just like all these movies, or do they only like the first one and they keep showing up just because? Like, what's
the second thing you said? It's the average guy likes the
no, I
first
mean,
one.
some people really like
People
this.
are
I've already seen
clapping
a
in
lot
my
of
theater to this movie.
I've already seen a lot of positive reactions to this movie.
Dude,
Yeah.
I saw it
like
with my sister,
and
and
people in my theater really liked it.
as we were walking out, my sister said, "Just as good as the first one." That was her review of Jurassic World Rebirth.
Shout out Garrett.
No, I think there's something to the fact that people really like it. I think it's also like kind of the most interesting like success story for IP, because it's like the IP is just dinosaurs, you know? Like it's not that the movies are like, you know what I mean? It's like the draw of the movie is that there's dinosaurs, and like it's not
Which
like
is
it's not the
very
draw of the
funny.
movie is like Star Wars, where it's like this is this universe. It's like there's dinosaurs, and so it's like it's not like this is like Jurassic Park is this like huge franchise with like this awesome world that we're invested in. It's like this world has dinosaurs in it, and therefore we like it. And there's not really another place where you're getting that.
Yeah, but there's a really
like, people just love dinosaurs.
lore to this universe. Though.
Sure,
there's
but
like a lot of explanations for why things are.
Doesn't even
they
matter
are.
to like.
I know, but it's just like that's what there's a really specific lore that these movies are adhering to, though. Regardless.
Let's talk about this movie specifically. I'll set up the plot for listeners of the pod, and then we could just kind of get into the Gareth Edwards and everything else we want to talk about. Pretty much after the incidents of or I guess it's somewhere in between the incidents of the second movie and the third movie, when like because after the second movie the dinosaurs like go all over the world. So I guess this movie kind of exists at some point before the Jurassic World Dominion. But or is that true? I don't know. The timeline's not important. Who cares? No, the timeline is important because they say it in the opening of the movie. They say like the 17 years later. So I'm wrong. This originates in between the second and third movie, but then we jump 17 years later to 2027, which is where we are in the events of this movie. And Scarlett Johansson is like some
mercenary
mercenary person, and is recruited by Rupert Friend's character, who works for this company that is trying to get access to this cure for a heart disease that is killing a lot of people. They say it's like 1 in 5 people in the movie or something is going to die from this heart disease. It's like a lot of people. And so the cure to this heart disease is found in these dinosaurs, and he recruits Scarlett Johansson to put a team together that consists of Mahershala Ali and Jonathan Bailey's character, and go to where the dinosaurs are on this island and get samples from 3 different dinosaurs so that they could use those to make the cure for this heart disease. And that's pretty much all the setup you need. That's how they get to the island. The other aspect of the story is that there is a family traveling, a father, his 2 daughters, and one of his daughter's boyfriends are traveling across the sea, a trip that they take regularly, I guess he says in the movie. And then it goes badly because they get too close to the dinosaurs and their boat is wrecked by a dinosaur. And like, so they like a mosasaurus, and so they end up stranded on the same island that Scarlett Johansson and her team are on, or they get picked up in the water by Scarlett Johansson's team, and this is how all of the characters end up on our dinosaur island, and that's how the movie is set up. I feel like you have strong opinions about the family aspect of this movie. If we want to start, let's just talk about the writing as a whole.
Yeah, it's just like the whole screenplay is a disaster, kind of.
Right.
Like I don't like. It's like the B plot. I don't know. It's honestly the whole movie on kind of every level is a bit of a failure, and almost nearly.
Sure. Like, I think there's one level that I could appreciate it on that we'll get to, but
I think that like the screenplay is such a mess, right? But it's like it's difficult to gauge because Gareth Edwards, I really think, is like kind of a terrible director. So it's hard to tell like when the screenplay is like being terrible and when he's just like not directing the scene. You know what? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, dude, the B plot with the family, that's like really poorly done. I don't know whose fault this is. You know, it's just like it's just bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
I can't like.
I'll say, I think that was the far more interesting part of the movie, and I wish the entire movie was this little family that got lost and they're engaging with the dinosaurs. I did not care about Scarlett Johansson and the medicine or whatever. I liked this little Mexican family getting lost and the dinosaurs and like the little nonverbal kid and all that stuff. Like that was great. I liked those characters. I really did. I thought that was new and fun. I don't know, maybe there's some similarities to some other things, but I like those guys. I did Scarlett Johansson like as a non-character. She's not a character. There's not a character there. She just kind of stands there.
I'd argue that none of them are characters.
I was gonna say
sure, but like it's like the whole thing is like Scarlett Johansson on the poster. She's supposed to be like the lead of the movie. We mentioned that she's like made the most money, whatever. She's not a character. What's his name? Who are the other people with
Jonathan Bailey being
Jonathan Bailey,
Jonathan Bailey plays straight for the first time. I think he's a good actor.
I have a real beef with how
I like him.
With how his, I like him also. He's really don't
bad in this.
Sure,
straight up.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like also everyone is kind of bad in this, and
that's my bigger point. Yeah, it's like I think. Basically, every single actor in every single scene is giving a pretty bad performance.
There's this one sequence where Mahershala Ali and Scarlett Johansson having a conversation on the boat, and it is edited in the most insane way ever. And and part of it is like the whiplash of like going from like specifically like these like French movies with like long like one shot dialogue sequences, whatever. But like, what are we doing? And contemporary, like how are we editing like an insane human being? There's just like simply they're just like saying in the boat talking, and it's like we're cutting like a billion times, and it's like awful performance. Like you were in Moonlight. Like what the fuck's going? No. It's like
both of them are great actors. No, Mahershala Ali and Scarlett Johansson have given great performance, like truly like great performances in other movies, and both of them, like both of these guys have been like nominated for Oscars and like a very
nominated. Mahershala Ali won 2 Oscars in 3 years.
No, that's what I mean. Yes,
it's like a simple dialogue scene, and it's like
or was it back-to-back years?
It is like unwatchable.
Like literally, they are talking to each other in this scene. Like this scene specifically, I was thinking of actually, they were talking to each other in the scene, and it's like it feels like they don't know what the fuck they're supposed to be doing. Like straight up, it feels like they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. Like in that scene specifically, I'm like, these are 2 like great actors just fucking like out there on their own.
Lost.
Yeah, they look lost.
It's so weird how they like characterize everybody in the movie. Like their whole relationship is like they weirdly reference this like history they have together. You're like supposed to care about the fact that they know each other previously. You like never once get the idea that these are like people who care about each other or like any detail about their relationship that makes you think that it exists. The Jonathan Bailey stuff, I'm like, this is so annoying because they like, this is just like another problem I have with the movie is that like the first Jurassic Park movie, it makes it like so clear how like dinosaurs are like the coolest and most beautiful thing to have ever existed, and then all of the Jurassic World movies, and now especially this one, it's like they try to like bring back that like archetype of character. Like they have it in every movie where there's like a dinosaur expert or whatever, but like he has no other qualities aside from being the dinosaur. So like in the first movie, Sam Neill, it's like, he has this problem where it's like, oh, he doesn't want kids. And then the kids being in the movie, like add a layer to his character. We're like, oh, you care about that. Like, but he's also a dinosaur expert. And like Laura
Sam Neill in the first movie is a human being.
Yeah. And so like
Jonathan Bailey in this movie is quirky guy that works in a museum.
Yeah. And like that makes you believe that what they're saying about dinosaurs is true because it's like something that like humans are in awe of. But like if they're not humans, then you can't be in awe of the dinosaurs. Like they just exist. And so like Jonathan Bailey just like telling you facts about them is like
3 personality traits that Jonathan Bailey has in this movie.
He knows about dinosaurs. That's it.
That's it. It's like we don't have any idea. Like we don't know.
It's like so frustrating. I hate that so much because like from my perspective,
you're saying he plays straight. He just could be gay in this movie.
Yeah, he's straighter in this and Wicked.
Sure, but we just don't know anything about him.
No, I know. No, I know. It's like he's honestly.
It's like it's actually
but it's like everybody, and that's why it's like that's why I like had no interest anytime they cut back to that group, because I thought there was at least there's like a family aspect, and I thought the dad and there's like a dynamic there like automatically because it's a family. Where the other people there's like no dynamic.
Yeah,
there's like no dynamic. It could of course like it's like there's the bar is like super low.
It's just like the thing about the family that I was having a hard time with too is that these actors are all really bad. That was my it was like
I like the dad. I thought the dad
I like the dad too.
But also
it's like charming.
If Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali is giving bad performance in the movie, I'm not.
Yeah, that's my bigger thing. Where it's like we have like real like high.
I don't think it's these
movie stars that don't know what they're doing.
I don't think it's any of their faults.
But
I agree with Owen to the extent that like they at least make an effort to try to set up characters with the family. It doesn't work, but on like a strictly like principled writing perspective, they try to like develop relationships between them that make somebody care.
It felt like
which
there was something going on. Like it was like, oh, they're lost in the jungle. There you go. That's the movie. Like the other people, it's like, what the fuck are they? It's like, what are we doing? I don't know.
This is such a minor thing too, but the costuming, the dad in the family, the B plot. Like the dad in the family, he wears this bright red shirt the whole time.
Yeah,
and it's like he looks like fucking Mario.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was that was one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah, that was one of your favorite parts of the movie.
Every time it cuts back to it, he's
really
bright red shirt.
Right, red
I was
shirt.
like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, that was really great. I loved that.
Kevin, in this movie, our Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey crew, they have to get samples from 3 dinosaurs. Are these real dinosaurs or are these made up dinosaurs?
These are real dinosaurs.
Yeah. Okay, I couldn't tell.
No, yeah, they I could yeah, Titanosaurus. Well, the Titanosaurus scene, that's like the one where that's like the one with the long neck, which is like
that's the one of maybe the only good scene in the movie that's like kind of trying to do everything.
Yeah, the problem is, and this is what I was going to say about how they set up these characters, is like that scene is so obviously trying to do the same thing that the Welcome to Jurassic Park scene does in the first movie, except it works in the first movie because, like I just said before, you're like actually in awe of like the dinosaurs existing. In this movie, it's like so much worse because Jonathan Bailey isn't a person, and so when they see them there, it's just like, oh, this would be really cool if I like believe it, you know what I mean? Like it's very frustrating to watch because it's like, yeah, that is like the coolest thing ever, you know? It's like if I did get to see one of those in person, I would like, you know, like it's like, how do you even react to that? It's like unbelievable, but like in the scene doesn't really come across to me that way. And I think it's even like worse that they like play the Jurassic Park theme like during that scene. And it's you know what I mean? Because then it's so obviously trying to be the first movie where I'm like, this is pissing me off a little bit. Like that really, I thought it didn't land at all. I would say it's one of the better scenes in the movie, but that doesn't have a ton of competition.
There's like no bad. That's the other part of this movie where it's like David Lynch talks about how you make one great scene and then you do that 16 more times and then you have a great movie. And it's like there's like kind of zero good scenes of this movie also.
I don't know if I'd say zero, but I think some of the stuff I liked is just stuff that other people wouldn't, because I think for me, the movie is like occasional like glimpses of like something great when it is like just dinosaur focused, which is frustrating because it's like, that's not the draw of them completely to me, where it's like just the like the dinosaur like horror aspects in this movie I think are the closest that it gets to being good, but that's like not every, like it's like in the same way that what I was saying about Jurassic Park is like I just really like dinosaurs, and so if like somebody like Jonathan Bailey's character exists to like tell me about dinosaurs, I like that just as much as I like people in danger. But like the people in danger doesn't work when I don't like the people, and so like the people in danger in this movie really only works, I think, if you're viewing it with just like no other context. Where it's like, for example, like that T-Rex scene when they're in the raft is like,
that shit was fucking stupid.
Yeah, but like as its own thing, you could like feel scared that there's a T-Rex. That which brings me to another problem I have with the movie. The to me like the biggest flaw of the movie, and this is not the first time that they've done this. They did this in the other Jurassic World movies. I think it is so fucking stupid. What we were just talking about before, how it's like the IP in these movies is just that people think dinosaurs are cool. It is so fucking stupid that you like go out of your way to make dinosaurs that don't exist. Like there are so many cool dinosaurs that exist.
The first
mutating dinosaurs.
Isn't the first Jurassic Park the ending thing is a mutated T-Rex? It's bigger than a real T-Rex. Isn't that how the first one ends?
Sure, but that's like different. That's like
it's the same
like,
thing.
No, but it's like, but you said it's like a sci. I don't know. I just like everything's like real in the first movie mostly. Like they're just like dinosaurs that they brought back to life. In this movie, it's like that they like. I think they said I forgot where they said it, but they said something that like it was inspired by like a xenomorph, and like that's where it gets like its head from. Like I'm like, what are we doing? And then like I saw a video of like somebody who is into dinosaurs posting about this movie, and they were like, it was so exciting when that thing showed up. And I'm like, do you like dinosaurs? Like actually? Like it's like because there's so many like there's just so you know what I mean? It's like T-Rex is like as its own like thing. Like I know like because the argument would be that like you have to do something new, right? Because like it's like, oh, you've already used a T-Rex in a previous movie or whatever. But and my girlfriend made a good point when we were talking about this earlier. She was like, there's a million Godzilla movies and people just like Godzilla. You know what I mean? It's like, you could probably make a million movies with a T-Rex and people are going to show up for the T-Rex every time. You know, it's like, and it doesn't even have to, there's obviously other dinosaurs that are just as scary as a T-Rex, but like, that, you know what I'm getting at is like, you could just do this with dinosaurs and it's always going to work. I don't think you need to make up dinosaurs. And I really like, to me, I don't know the specifics. I don't know enough about dinosaurs to like see a dinosaur in a movie and be like, that's the difference between a real one and a fake one. But you can in this movie, you know? And like, that's what pisses me off. It's like, I'm taken out of the movie immediately when there's like like when the dinosaur's head looks like that. That pisses me off. I'm like, I just want it to be a real dinosaur. Like, why can't they get attacked by a real dinosaur? Because then when it's a fake one, I'm like, sure, dude, let it kill them. I don't care. Like, whatever. That's stupid to me. You guys probably don't have an opinion about this, but that's like my least favorite thing about the movie. I hate that so much.
My least favorite thing about the movie was when 90 minutes hit and I kept looking down at my watch I don't wear and was like, all right, let's wrap it up. Like third act starting, and I was like, damn,
it was like,
was
it like slow to you? Were you like was it boring?
By the end of it, I was bored out of my fucking mind, bro. I felt like it was paced like fine, you know, and I was like I was like going along with the fucking plot points, but like by the end of it, bro, I was like, we need to wrap this. We need to fucking wrap this up.
Did you find any of like the threatening dinosaur moments exciting? Like for example, when they're like in the cave in the sky and the Quetzalcoatlus is like chasing them up the mountain.
No, I thought 100% of it was kind of like poorly done and not very good. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? It's like, so
sure, yeah. I mean, well, when I
mountain, right, and like Jonathan Bailey's getting the stuff, and it becomes like a bad David Koepp script. If where it's like it becomes like this cat and mouse thing where he's chasing the little
it now.
Yeah, he's like doing an Indiana Jones thing because guess what? Like David Koepp, it's like
fucking
David
Spielberg jerk off movie.
They need to stop hiring him to do this stuff. They just gotta stop. It's like he knows how. Like, and it's like this is another thing about this movie where it feels like a bad David Koepp script, where it's just like he's going through, he's like hitting the fucking beats that you got to hit in the movie, and he's just like filling the rest of it up with some bullshit.
Here's this money, make us this thing, and they're like, he's like, oh fine,
yeah, he has like a half-written script already, and he's like with like some ideas, and he's like, I'll fill this out. He's like, oh, we'll do an Indiana Jones thing here. We'll do a
like what it doesn't matter because the movie
is gonna make $1 billion no matter what.
And the people are gonna be happy with him because he delivered.
Yeah, but it's also it's like we like David Koepp. He writes bad movies. He has bad scripts sometimes. He wrote what's that? What it was? Dial of Destiny. Dial of Destiny just came out. That movie's also bad. Like that's just like bad work from him.
Well, it's like, part. Like, yeah.
No, I mean he writes bad scripts. You're right.
He's also like one of the most legendary screenwriters in Hollywood. But it's also like you got to stop hiring him to do this.
I do think it's like maybe I think like going 100% as a screenwriter is like impossible a little bit. I think it's
if like you're like a for hire guy like this, no.
Yeah,
I think it's like a little bit impossible.
I think that there's another thing where what happened to people being excited about stuff like people can like dinosaurs, dude. That's
literally what I'm saying. Yeah,
and filmmakers that like would be excited, like that have a take that they're like excited about with dinosaurs. David Koepp, I don't think it was maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he really fucking cares about the script. It does not feel that way though, because it's like a mess.
I think it's funny because David was like the first puzzle piece where it's like they're like, David, write this script and now we're gonna go find a director for it. Like what?
Yeah, that's the other. Okay, now we got to talk about Gareth Edwards. This has to happen. Gareth Edwards is a bad director. I'm standing on it now. This movie is like I'm like this is the facts of the situation. He's a bad director until proven otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I'm at.
Have you seen all of his movies?
I haven't seen Monsters, which that's like his big like debut like breakout.
But like his like okay.
But I've seen Rogue One and The Creator and Godzilla in this.
Okay.
Which crazy that like he just got all these fucking jobs, bro. He just keeps getting jobs.
I don't think Gareth Edwards is worth discarding at this moment, because when I watch something that he makes, I think there's something there. I don't know what the issue is or like why he can't fully do it. And it reminds me when we talked about Tim Burton, because we kind of came to this thing where it's like Tim Burton would be a great guy to have on your crew. Like as like he like can be in charge of like the set design or something, it's like where it's like like there's parts of Tim Burton movies where it's like there's something that he's doing that no one else is doing this specific thing. And I think this movie has some like really great greens and I really love that red shirt. I think there's some stuff that looks decent, and I'd much rather watch something that he makes than like Oz Perkins or James Gunn or whatever. But it's like there's something not fully like
it's like
working.
That's incomparable though. Like you can't compare Gareth Edwards to guys like that because those guys write their own movies.
But I think those guys like have nothing to offer. Where I think there's something there. I don't exactly know if it ever is going to be anything like fully tapped into. But I don't know why specifically he's been the guy for these like big tentpole things. But I don't think he's like.
I have a take on this.
Okay.
That I was thinking about this. It's not completely fleshed out, so like I'm gonna flesh this out with you guys in real time.
Yeah. Let's have an open conversation here.
So television. Okay.
Yeah.
So there are directors for TV shows. Like even think about something like Law and Order and stuff like that, right? Where it's like there's the showrunner is the writer who manages writing. It's a lot of writing for a season of TV, right? It's a big projects, right? Just like the writing part. And then the directing part is like also a big thing where like a season of TV to make this happen is like a whole affair. It's a whole factory, right? To make this whole thing come out at the end, right? So the kind of like the way that television used to work, right, is that there were directors, but the directors and the showrunner might not be creatively aligned, right? But the director's there to be on set to like there has to be a director when you're shooting something, right? But the director and the showrunner aren't necessarily always creatively aligned. So then there's the cinematographer is like there for the entire season, whereas directors only direct like an episode here, an episode there, or batches of episodes, right, for a season of TV. The cinematographer is usually there the entire time. The cinematographer's job is usually to like steer the ship, to maintain the vision of the showrunner who can't be there to be the director, right? The cinematographer is there to control the director and make sure they don't get out of there. Gareth Edwards to me feels like a cinematographer that is just like propped up to be the director now, to just handle it, because like these movies that he's making, Star Wars, Godzilla, Jurassic Park, these aren't real movies. You know what I mean? Like these aren't like these. It's like these are things that the studios, they don't need a guy with like a real strong, clear vision to direct them. They already have this writer. All of those movies have like, and I mean, in the case of Rogue One and Jurassic World, like, right, they were writer focused. They got very famous writers to get them scripts, and they just needed a guy to translate the writing. And I feel like that's just who Gareth Edwards has been. He just feels like a cinematographer.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Was like, is he? I think if he is, just a cinematographer, I think he is a good one. Like, I do think, like, in terms of like understanding, like, I think he is. That's why I think there's a value to what he brings. I just don't know if he's like the guy for it. But that's why it's like tough, because it's like I watched this movie and I'm like, this looks like there's stuff that looks kind of like, it's like, this is like,
there's moments
compared to like the rest of the blockbuster landscape where everything looks like shit. There is like
so much better than Superman.
It looks so much better, and that's why I
maybe pick a movie that's not coming out next.
No, but that's the direct comparison, right? Like that's the other movie that might make $1 billion.
When you think of like whatever about Rogue One, or, but like compared to like a lot of the other Star Wars stuff coming out at the same time, like I don't know, it's just like there's something there where like this guy is doing something. When he has a movie, it's like, okay, it's looking, there's something where I'm like, okay, catching my eye, and then the movie is like, okay, I don't know, and I think it's bizarre, but it
feels, honestly, I don't know, watching this movie, I don't know what happens behind, we don't know what happens behind the scenes, but like watching this movie Jurassic World, it feels like Gareth Edwards is maybe like not lacking confidence, maybe just lacking interest in a lot of it,
but
where it's
that's
like
confusing, because we talked about David Kep being like the original piece, right? He writes the script. And then you listen to Gareth Edwards in interviews, and he was like, yeah, he wrote this whole like document of like why Jurassic Park worked just for fun. And then he like saw the article that they were making a new one, and then he like called them and was like, hey, like, is there like, do you need a director? That's basically how it happened. Where it's like he's really big, he's a really big fan of the original stuff. So obviously there's a passion there to do it, in terms of like he loves that world. But where does like, I don't know if there's a,
I think about so Jane Campion, right? Like really good filmmaker, and at the very least, very real filmmaker, like a real director. I think about, and I'm not saying like whatever slop city has to be like this, right? But it's just like it's a just there's like kind of levels to it, right?
Yeah.
She made, for Power of the Dog, she made Benedict Cumberbatch like stay in a fucking cabin like weeks before they were shooting on location, and she was like, okay, you need to write me letters in character. You just need to like, you need to get into fucking character, and you need to like write me letters in character. Like they were doing character work to be like, you need to like understand who this guy is, right? And I think about it, and it's like, how would you even do that with a single character in this movie? You know what I mean? Like, you like sit down with any of these actors and be like, you need to like get into character and understand this, and it's like the actor would have so many questions, because it's like there's nothing there for any of them, So, and that's where I mean, like, that's fine, like on the script, right? But then as the director, right, you have to give them something a little bit more. Like this conversation scene between Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali, right? I wonder, did they just memorize their lines and then show up on set and then just like read the lines? And Gareth Edwards is like, yeah, great, perfect. We got to move on now. You know?
But I'm wondering, in this like studio system, he is the director, but like I'm assuming he didn't have he's not gonna have final cut. He's not gonna like, how much, like, is he allowed to, like, okay, he signs on to the movie. Can he change this? Like, can he edit the script? Can he, like, what are his parameters here in this thing? Where it's hard to, like, without
That's true. Well,
fully
like
knowing, like,
David Kep is
his,
the legend,
yeah, it's
and
like,
so it's like, how is he going to step
uh,
in? Yeah,
how much
yeah, no,
authorship
it's
does
true.
he have in this? I mean, it's, you can't take the blame away from him. But like it's good. It's a kind of a muddy area where it's like, if the script's bad and he signs on to do it, okay, he signs on to do it. But like, can he be like, hey, let's rewrite this or let's add more here? I mean, there's efforts he can have made to, even like, in terms of like, maybe it's not on the page, but flesh it out for the actors. But it's also, it's like you're in this like tent pole sort of thing where it's a weird place to
Yeah.
be in. And it's very interesting as a person who has made like 2 original movies and like 3 or 4
Oh,
like studio
Yeah, like I
blockbuster
think
movies.
Monsters and the Creator are two things where I do think he really cared about, because he got he got a writing credit
Much
on the
rather
Creator.
I'd much rather him
Yeah,
do more of that stuff. And I think that's where he will grow as a filmmaker. I don't know if this is him kind of retreading this kind of legacy sequel thing is like beneficiary to anybody.
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
I, while you guys were talking about Gareth Edwards, I did a bit of light reading
Yeah.
on the Jurassic World Rebirth Wikipedia page, and I have excerpts from both the pre-production and post-production process that both answer a lot of your questions and possibly create new ones. And I think you guys would be amused to listen to this. So
Sure.
I'm just gonna read this to you because it's
Yeah.
a lot of it's very funny. Um, First sentence also just absolutely. I don't know if when we were talking about this movie, like in podcast news, this ever came up, but it said David Leitch was previously
Oh, yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
board to direct it.
I
I don't know
remember
if
I remember this.
yeah.
That was like the original.
Um,
I think they either wanted him or they like signed him. I remember it was pretty like, we're
yeah,
getting this movie, which was like,
right.
that's the thing. It's like, I'd much rather, like, that's why I prefer him over
Sure,
David
yeah,
Lynch,
yeah.
even
This
though
is an
like,
upgrade.
it's like, so it's like,
Yeah,
I think there's way worse. That's why like I kind of hold on to him a little, where it's like, there's something happening here. It's not working, but I think there's something to like
right.
think
But
about.
let me read you the rest of this. Let me just go through it. Okay. Gareth Edwards was announced as director later that month, having been selected because of the visual style he used in his previous films, which was considered ideal for the Jurassic World series. His experience with CGI was also a factor in his selection. Furthermore, Spielberg enjoyed Edwards' film Godzilla, and Edwards is a fan of the original Jurassic Park. After completing The Creator, Edwards planned to take a break from studio filmmaking to focus on his own projects instead. He was busy writing a new film when he was offered the Jurassic World project, which he described as, quote, the only movie that could make me drop everything like a stone and dive right in, end quote. Feeling depleted after finishing The Creator, he hoped that Kep's draft would give him reason to turn down the directing job, but was instead won over.
Yeah.
He met with Marshall and subsequently Spielberg to discuss the project and possible changes, and was soon hired as director. Edwards had less than a year and a half to get the film finished, a process that he said would normally take 2.5 years. Early on, he suggested delaying the film's release, but this idea was immediately rejected. He credited Kep's script for the quick turnaround. Everybody was pointing at that going, go make that. That's what we want. And so it was just quite a relatively smooth ride. Edwards aimed to follow Kep's script by maintaining its balance of humor and horror elements, the latter being emphasized more so than in previous Jurassic World films. Kep encouraged Edwards to make suggestions for improving the script. A scene involving Quetzalcoatlus nest was among those modified by Edwards. Originally written to take place in a cave, he changed the setting to an abandoned ancient temple. A sequence at a gas station mini-mart was initially set in a different location, but was also changed by Edwards. He ultimately found the film's shortened production time to be beneficial. Quote, if you have too much time, you procrastinate, you try things that don't work. And then here's the part from post-production. By the end of 2024, Edwards had finished his first cut of Jurassic World Rebirth. He wanted the film to be under 2 hours in length, and his cut was 1 minute below this mark, excluding the credits. Edwards removed 5 minutes to achieve this, but ultimately restored the footage at the request of Universal executives. 3 other scenes are absent from the final theatrical cut, 2 of which Edwards was fine with removing. The third consisted of additional material for the gas station sequence he described as a little bit more like being hunted, the tension of something coming. It was cut because it slowed down the film's third act, which was written to be fast-paced. While in post-production, Edwards briefly considered the idea of having a T-Rex show up in the ending battle to the Distortus Rex and inadvertently save the human.
Distortus Rex.
Crazy.
Other
crazy.
filmmakers Other filmmakers on the project rejected this idea for lack of originality, noting that previous installments in the series already ended with a dinosaur battle. By March 2025, Edwards was working 7 days a week with ILM and the film editor to have the project finished in time for its release. So he liked David Koepp's script.
Well, I saw that in the interview where he was like, he read it and was like, oh, I guess I gotta do it. Which is the same thing that Barry Jenkins said when he got the Mufasa script. Where he was like, he got the script and was like, oh, please, like, I'm sure I'll read it, but like, I don't want to do this. And then he read the script.
But I think that does give us some insight where it's like he was ready to go back to not doing these kinds of movies and then only did one because it was Jurassic World.
I worry that the success of this will force him to come back.
Someone's gonna put another project on his desk.
No, not even that. But it's like they're like, okay, I guess now he's the guy to do the next one, right? Does he have to do the next one?
I don't know if that's
think about this from a studio executive point of view, though, right? Where it's like you sit down and you're like, oh man, we got to do another Jurassic sequel. Like we got it because it makes so much money, and this is just proof where it's like you put a movie star in here, like Scarlett Johansson's a movie star.
Again.
Yeah, bring David Koepp. You get Dave. Hey, we're gonna do a little studio executive talk. Hey, man, Koepp knows he nuts and bolts. He knows what to put in there. he's like he knows what's the fucking
that poor man alone. Holy shit.
Right? But it's like you're a studio executive, you sit down, you're like, we need to do another Jurassic movie or like whatever, like billion-dollar franchise. You look at all of the possible filmmakers, like up and coming guy, like indie filmmakers, like kind of Marvel likes to steal or whatever. You look at everybody and it's like Gareth Edwards is kind of like the perfect guy because of his limited voice, I think. Like you know what I mean?
I feel it's like it's so he's weird. He's so bizarre, and I think it's fascinating. I think he's very fascinating.
It is funny for like that excerpt of the script, like when he's talking about where like David Koepp was even like, "Hey, if you have improvements, let me know." And like the improvements from Gareth Edwards' perspective is just like changing the locations and not like anything to do with the characters that are played by the actors he has to direct.
Well, that's my thing. Also, I don't think Gareth Edwards is like very high-minded or has like a great taste for writing either, because it's like he has a writing credit for the creator and the creator is a disaster, I think, on paper. Like it's like a total disaster.
The script for the creator is just straight up bad.
That's what I mean, and he has a writing credit for that movie, so it's like I don't think that he's like is able to like David Koepp is a legendary screenwriter. I'm sure that anything he writes is gonna like read fine compared to other scripts. So like he wrote it, he probably read it and was already interested in like dinosaurs, right? He's like, oh, a dinosaur. He read this and he was like, perfect, fucking.
And I don't even hate some of what David Koepp sets up in the movie. I just think that he does like the character is just like flop.
It feels like it almost feels like an early draft of the movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think there's stuff in it that like I like the idea of those like the boat sequence where there's like they get like capsized in the like. That's cool. Let's do Jaws. I think
it felt kind of like
I like the family
the way
in the
of
jungle.
water.
It was I kept thinking of Paddington in Peru when they were lost.
I haven't seen that yet.
Much better movie, but that's what I kept thinking about. I was like, this is just like a worse.
Paddington in Peru is better than Avatar: The Way of Water.
No, better than
than Jurassic World Rebirth.
No, I was thinking.
I was like, wait a second.
This is a much worse Paddington in Peru. That's what I was thinking when they were lost in the woods.
Interesting. During the whole like before the boat was crashing, like they're gonna chase by that dinosaur, I was like, this is literally Avatar. I was like, this is literally The Way of Water.
Well, I was like, it's Jaws because it's like they're doing Spielberg riffs.
I was also like the fucking more Jaws,
it's like
because they're
And then there was like the scene where straight Jonathan Bailey is like holding that egg like he's fucking Indiana Jones, and it's
that was a true Indiana Jones like
you're fucking referencing. Jerking me now, dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I blamed David Koepp for that too. Maybe I should have blamed fucking Gareth Edwards, but I was like, David Koepp, you fucking hack writer.
No, come on, David. What are you doing, bro?
No, but I mean that is probably his fault. Although, but that's what I'm saying. I think like I think the formula, like on a script level, is there. Like I do think the setup of like go to this dinosaur, go to this dinosaur, go to this dinosaur, and then like create conflict around it is, from his perspective, like a real good like classic screenwriter thing, like to like make the movie go from point A to point B. Like I think it's actually really good. I just think a lot of the stuff around it is really bad.
Yeah, I just don't understand like the I don't know what it's.
The world is confusing to me because if we're gonna talk about the like future of this, assuming that it makes $1 billion and they're gonna make more, I just think it's really strange, like where we're at with like the lore of the world, because it's like the first Jurassic Park movie is so contained, and then obviously like they take swings, and then like by Jurassic World's part where it is the whole world as opposed to like certain like a park, it just should be the whole world. I think I don't like it's like weird that this movie sets it up where it's like the dinosaurs are dying, nobody cares about them, they sort of like live with us, like in the movie opens with one in like New York City, but it's just like normal to them.
That's cool. I like
I like that too.
The very beginning, like I mean like the very beginning, I like that. Now,
I like that so much. That's like almost my favorite scene of the movie.
Yeah, when we're introduced to, what's the actor's name? Rupert Friend.
Rupert Friend.
Yeah,
he's also awful in this movie.
Oh,
I was
terrible.
But I think
he's like the most cartoonish villain in the world.
Well, what's the thing? Well, I was thinking about this because I was like, what's Scarlett Johansson really been in recently? And I mean, both of these two are like recent, like Wes Anderson guys, and I was like, they were really good in that movie I watched a month ago.
Real amazing acting.
And it's like there's this one scene where like the teenage girl or whatever like falls, and like it cuts to Rupert, and like he's got like a shadow on his face, and it's like, what the fuck is this shot,
dude?
And it's like that's not his fault, but it's like awful performance. I really didn't like.
Yeah.
And I really do like him as an actor. It's like
he's great,
really bad. And
I thought he was great at the very beginning before he started talking to Scarlett Johansson. When he was like silent and he was walking around, I was like, wait, hold on.
No, I think there's an idea, like the idea of like Jurassic City is like a fun idea.
It's like dinosaurs in New York.
I just think that they box themselves in by saying that the population is being reduced and that like they're stuck in this part of the world. I think if you're gonna make it Jurassic World, like moving forward, if you were gonna make a new trilogy, let's say, and I'm sure that if they make a second movie, they'll probably just like rewrite this to make it work this way anyway, where like the next movie is going to come out and they're going to be like, actually the dinosaurs are like they're expanding now, but it should just be them.
An idea there about it everywhere. Being like about I agree, I do agree, but I think that they're not doing that right, and I think that there is like a fun idea where it's like the forbidden zone. It's like there's like dinosaur land out there that nobody's allowed to go to. But
and I think it's very easy. I think it's very easy to write character, like a new set of characters having to go there. Like you could come up with a million different scenarios for why people. I mean, that family just ends up there by accident. You could create 100 other accidents. I just like I don't know. I just think the setup is strange here, where I'm like I don't totally see the. And it's not going to matter. The next movie in the franchise will also make $1 billion, but like, I don't totally see the setup.
Well, the thing is, I just don't know what the fuck even is the franchise.
Yeah, it's a dinosaur. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit.
This movie makes it more confusing. It's also like this is on the subject of the Rupert Friend thing. This is another like really bad. Like we talked about the characters like not being characters, but it's also like. There are like several moments where the dialogue is just like, what the fuck? Like, speaking of like that guy being cartoonishly evil, like the premise of like he's doing this for money, and then Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey have like 3 separate conversations where they're like, what if we give it back to the people?
Well, that's the other thing
like,
about
what if we cure the people?
Scarlett Johansson's character is not even a real character. It's like not even a little bit.
Because like, why would she be incentivized to do that?
Has this clear motivation that is set up, and then like we kind of get this tease where it's like, oh, she's kind of sad and like a little bit lost, and then it's like she's we don't get an insight into her psyche.
Because she like lost her friend.
World. Yeah, it's like we don't really understand what's going on through her mind at all in the movie. She's like
it's so weird. It's so weird that that's like the emotional arc for your character, and then you're just like, yeah, maybe we should get this cure actually and save a bunch of people. It's like, what does that really have to do with her backstory? You know?
Yeah,
I get that she's like, and I think the closest thing they get to is like Mahershala Ali. I think they have like an almost thing there where it's like when like early on in the story when it's revealed that the family is stranded, Rupert Friend is very much like, no, don't go there, and Mahershala Ali is very much like, I have to do this, like this is like in my nature to do this. But then the rest of the movie acts like it's in Scarlett Johansson's nature to do that, and it's like it's not, like it's never established that I don't know, that's like, but like Mahershala Ali is like kind of the sympathetic character.
For the sequel, they just running back Jurassic World again. Like they're bringing this crew back.
I think it's just Jurassic World 5. Yeah. It won't be the number 5. It'll have another colon, like this is what the plot of the movie is, kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's gonna be like Scarlett Johansson is just now Chris Pratt. Like you mean, like is that what they're gonna do?
No,
you think it's
I don't know.
Gonna be in more of these?
I think what you proposed about like if it is just like this kind of danger zone that you can't go to, there's like to me, like the most fun scenario that immediately comes to mind is just like a gang of like idiots, just like how the boyfriend is just like a dumbass like in this movie. Like I would love it if there's just like a group of like 8 like teenagers or like guys in their 20s who are just like, yeah, let's go there, like let's go fucking find a dinosaur, and they just get stuck there on the island, like, well, that's like having to escape.
I think that's why I think the family is much more interesting. Like I don't know, I don't give a crap about the scientist stuff, or like I want to see the dinosaurs and people, and it's like I think it's like too baby, but like that's a problem.
I just kind of think I think I kind of just want a movie where the dinosaurs win right now. Like I think the dinosaurs
let's make like,
that's what I'm saying. Like imagine it's just like 8 guys who are, you're like, wait, these guys kind of suck, and then by the end of it, it's just like everybody dies,
and then it gets like really like graphic.
Yeah, they just die in like crazy ways. It's like, because there's moments in this movie where I'm like, that I will say very early on in the movie when the dinosaur I don't like is revealed, it's a pretty scary scene. Like that was pretty
scene?
That when the guy gets trapped.
What guy?
The scientist, like when the research lab is
at the beginning.
At the beginning, like the D-Rex in the research lab, and the guy gets like stuck. Like the idea of like getting stuck in there, and there's like fog, and like you don't know, like you know what's in there because you're a researcher, and he's like begging to get out. He really they really like
so much of the other kills are like,
and I'm like,
so
I actually do feel
bad,
bad
where because they kind of like they auto generate like these NPC characters just like to kill them, and it's like the kills are like so.
Yeah, that's what I know. Friend of the pod Sophie complained about this. This is a real like thing that I hate in any movies like this. I agree with her, where it's like you create like complementary characters that don't have names in the movie even, and they just exist to die, and then all your main characters, spoiler, all your main characters survive. That shit's annoying.
The whole like Ali, even like this,
he should have just been dead. He should. It's fine. I mean, I like him, but like he should have just been dead.
I think it's one thing like if it was like really awesome, like brutal kills, like to like be like, oh, that was crazy. But the fact that it's like tame deaths of like NPC characters, just like.
Yeah, the most brutal part is that part I'm talking about in the opening, where it's like where that guy's really like begging for his life. I'm like, that's like how scary a human interacting with a dinosaur would be.
I kind of like
I would think they lean into that. I kind of
like the way that they kind of set that whole like, I don't know, it's like stupid Snicker bar thing. I don't know. It was like more interesting than like some of the other.
No, because it's like that's like a real like this is how you create tension in a movie thing.
It felt like at the start like a Final Destination scene. We're like,
exactly.
Like, highlighting.
I literally was thinking of Final Destination,
and it's like, oh, what the fuck? The Snickers bar is about to like lead to some guy's death.
That was like a cool little David Kep like.
Little
Unk still got it.
I wonder if he just
scene...
cooked that part of the script for like 2 weeks. He just like wrote like the opening, and he was like, damn, this shit's perfect. And then he realized that they have like no time left to finish the rest of the movie, and he's like, okay, I have to get to work.
So irrelevant though. Like I forgot all about it at the end of the movie. I read a review about it, and I was like, oh, I forgot entirely about that first opening minute, because it's like
it's like one of the best parts of the movie.
It's so kind of thrown
like
on
good.
There though.
Yeah, no, it's just there's a lot of that stuff. I don't know. There's like stuff that they could lean into every which. Honestly, though, like, and I know this isn't your guys' takeaway entirely because maybe you don't care. Like, even when I defended the first Jurassic World movie a little bit, like, it's like I think if you just wrote these as characters who exist, I just would have liked this movie like quite a lot. Like, I like dinosaurs enough to where it's like put people in a scary situation where a T-Rex is like in danger of killing them. Put people in a situation where there's like a guy who really loves dinosaurs, and like have a couple people like die, like as long as they're like people, I think it improves every single scene in the movie almost.
Yeah,
if I cared about these people.
The script really just needed to get cooked for a little bit longer, and then
Yeah.
the movie would have been better. I don't know if it would have been good, but it would have certainly been better.
I don't know if it would have been good, but it's like I gave this movie 2.5 stars. I walked out of the movie, I gave it 2.5 stars. I was like, this is a half-star movie that I'm giving 2.5 stars to. Like, I think it's just like bad, straight up. You know what I mean? And it's like if they were just characters with like feelings and emotions, this is like a 4-star movie for me. Like, I'm like, this is just good if I like these people.
Yeah, I think like it really needed like someone needed to be picked as the lead.
Yeah, they
character.
needed a fixer. They needed somebody to just go in there.
Somebody
and
needed
add,
to
like,
be like
five
the main character.
that make me care about.
Pick
these
a main
people.
character. Pick a guy, please. I don't know who the hell
Yeah.
we're focusing on here.
Yeah. Anyway,
and like cut all the rest of them.
You guys have anything else you want to say about Jurassic World Rebirth?
No,
it's frustrating. I'm good. I don't know.
It's
frustrating. No, I agree. Bad. It's frustrating for me, especially because I'm very excited for when somebody makes when they make a new exciting dinosaur movie that's not in this universe.
Where's that coming out?
I'm a little bit worried about that though, because I'm curious like what they're gonna lean into. Because isn't that just going to be a horror movie, like straight up?
I don't know. Straight up, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what. Depending on what the story for that, I'm excited for that movie.
Movie's going to be very good.
Yeah, I'm excited for the movie regardless. But in terms of like guy who likes dinosaurs, I don't know if I'm excited.
See,
for
that
it
shit's
yet.
so lame.
Okay, I mean, sorry.
Like I don't.
You know, I think it's lame that you're a Nets fan. You know,
okay, well.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, sorry, I like dinosaurs.
No, well, like, it's like, I don't, but like, you really want the like guy to just talk about dinosaur facts all day? Like, that's the movie?
No, that's not, I never said that. I just want the guy who talks about dinosaurs to be a real person because I like dinosaurs.
Okay, but what if they're mean to the dinosaurs?
What if they're what?
What if they're mean to the dinosaurs?
Then I'll feel bad. Yeah, but if it depends what it depends what the logic is.
Okay, we'll see.
If the movie just hates dinosaurs, I'll be a little bit upset.
Like hating, that's really funny. It says the David Robert Mitchell. It says a family in the '80s start to notice bizarre things happening in their neighborhood. So I mean, well, that could be anything. But
yeah, that could be
it's
anything.
like a real.
I don't know how much I'm gonna like. I'll like the movie, but I just mean like Jurassic Park is the only franchise that leans into like these are movies about that, although it sometimes doesn't. But like generally, it's like these are movies for people who think dinosaurs are cool. You know, that sounds like a movie that.
But this one, this one feels embarrassed about that, right? Like it's like, talking about like the fake dinosaurs and stuff. Like,
yeah, no, I agree. That's what I'm saying. It's frustrating because I would like it if there was more movies that are about dinosaurs being cool. But there's not.
Mystery here.
And so I have to watch documentaries on the Discovery Channel.
Okay.
You don't have to do that.
I do it and I enjoy it. Anyway, that's Jurassic World.
Going to be better. Okay, now that we've seen this movie, right, and it wasn't really what any of us were expecting. I want to say exactly.
Well, I mean,
sure. Let's pre-rank the summer blockbusters. This, Fantastic Four, and Superman.
What about it? Are we throwing F1 into the mix?
Okay, throw F1 in there. Rank these movies.
F1 is probably gonna be the best one.
Yeah, F1's a little different.
It's up there.
Okay, so this Superman and Fantastic Four, I'd go number 1. I'm gonna give Fantastic Four 3 stars. I gave this 2.5 stars, and I'll probably give Superman like 1.5 stars. So that's my guess. That's my guess. Maybe if I'm in a good mood, Fantastic Four will be 3.5 stars. I don't know. It'll have to work hard. Every trailer I watch for that movie, I'm just like, I don't care about this at all. But I do think there is some appeal there that doesn't exist with Superman. I watched the Superman trailer, and I'm like, Superman. I feel nothing.
That movie's
like
top 10 worst movies. Watch Mojo.com.
Yeah. No, it's kind of like, remember when James Gunn said that The Flash is one of the greatest superhero movies he's ever seen?
Bitch believed that shit. I'll tell you that.
It's like, yeah, this movie, like every subsequent Superman trailer is just like, oh wow, he's like, he was not lying. He really thinks that.
Like, yeah, we were like, there's no, he's just being nice. You know,
if I was a betting man, Fantastic Four is the best one.
Like, somehow by default, I guess, like, sort of. I mean, this movie maybe just like, I don't know.
they're just all really terrible.
I think this could end up. This movie, I would predict is Owen's favorite. Jurassic World Rebirth.
Probably, but like they all might be like 1 stars.
Sure, yeah.
So it's like what the fuck.
Like Fantastic Four, I think, is gonna be bad, bro. It's like I want to like it because I love those characters, like the legacy of those characters. Like I just like Fantastic Four is like it's fucking awesome, like amazing.
I also don't think
comic books. The more like prime, like Jack Kirby in his prime writing fucking fire shit.
Yeah, and none of it, Matt. Like not. I mean, you could like.
Yeah, but it's the one I'm.
Everything you love is turning into shit.
Yeah. And that's how I felt watching this movie, Jurassic World Rebirth. This is the one I was the most open. I was even optimistic that this would be good.
So was I. I like Scarlett Johansson.
I don't think there's gonna be something as good as that guy's red shirt in any of those movies.
Okay.
And the nonverbal little kid with the Dora backpack.
What about the little dog? What about the dog in Superman?
Oh, fuck that dog. No, I liked Dolores. I thought was cute. Dog. I liked Dolores.
Yeah, Dolores was fucking stupid. I thought that shit was so.
I liked Dolores.
That was one of those things where like this is like an idea. I get it. This is handled terribly, bro.
Back to the drawing board. I mean,
no. Oh, actually, I have a thing about Dolores.
Okay,
really quick.
Yeah.
So when the T-Rex comes, the little girl is like, go be free, Dolores. Like, I don't want the T-Rex to kill you, right? And then they get to the ending scene. And Dolores is there again.
Yeah.
So it's either Dolores somehow got from point A to point B that efficiently and was like a baby dinosaur is smart enough to do that, or it's a different dinosaur.
Yeah, that was like, was this just like another little guy?
Yeah, but that, which is what I thought it was originally. I thought she just found another one and she was like it was like a cute thing, but then it immediately likes her. So you have to like it immediately just like really recognizes her.
I was waiting for like that. Well, I feel like the movie doesn't really have like an ending. And I was waiting for like that to be like I thought it was gonna be some sort of like, and as it more went on, I was like, okay, this is not what they're doing. But I was assuming it was gonna be like something where like I can't think of an exact movie to references to, but there's like the movie where it's like they take the baby and then the mom is like chasing them and then like you have to give the mom back to the or whatever, there was some sort of like you have my kid sort of thing, but they didn't really do that. So I thought there was like there had to be something like more to that Dolores thing, because there was like ideas in this movie. They don't like go anywhere, but I just think the movie kind of ends. It's like there's nothing happens, and it kind of just exists.
When it saved the world at the end,
no, it didn't save anything.
Yeah, they saved.
It's like a what? It's like it's like a
uninhabited island.
It's like a mission. It's like a
heart attack. Video game. Like there ain't no going.
Like a video game.
There ain't no starting backwards. Arteries start to squeeze.
They go to the video game mission. They like complete the mission, and that's the movie. It's not.
Yeah.
Nothing like.
Oh, I was thinking about this, Owen. This script would have been a fire video game script.
Well, that's what it feels like. It feels like okay, we have to get these 3 little things, and we have to go like it feels like I'm playing what's that space game? But like you have to
Outer Wilds.
No, it's like I don't know, skies. No
Have
sky.
we considered that we've been talking about video games too much?
What is it called? Skyland? No
Sky. No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. It feels like No Man's Sky.
Okay.
It's like I feel like I'm just doing like a mission, and that's it. The best of the movie. It's like I don't feel like there's like a structure of like I think it's like too loose. Or it's not a horror movie because it's not scary, and then it's just kind of like we get lost in the woods. Now we are not lost in the woods.
No, yeah.
Where I don't really, and that's like how what's the sequel? We get lost again.
We had that conversation.
No, but it's like that's why it's like there's nothing there.
Yeah, no, it's a bad movie.
Yeah. Let's talk about some news. Reminders as always to
Owen's
comment,
defeated.
Subscribe on YouTube. Yeah. Rate the episode on Spotify and Apple Podcast, and follow us on all of our social platforms in the episode description. Not a ton of news this week. Let's start with Warner Bros. Has reportedly hit pause on Doug Liman's undersea thriller with Tom Cruise and Ana de Armas due to budget concerns. The studio capped the film at $230 million. It's now looking at like $275 million, and Cruise's team is looking to set it up elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, get Doug Liman off the fucking team, bro. Like, it's like, what do you think, dude? What you're gonna be like? Oh, Doug Liman's $300 million movie. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, I think Tom's really pulling his weight in that group. And it's like $275 million is a lot of money. If you can't make the movie for that, like, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Listen, bro. Tom Cruise trying to make something special with his girlfriend. What do you want, bro? He's trying to get...
You guys need a better third. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I just
no, yeah.
Doug Liman pull his boyfriend in, and then
that's the thing.
Is if other guy comes, is it a deal then, or like, I don't know. It's like,
no, I don't think so. I really do think it's like it's Warner Brothers. Well, because Warner Brothers looked at Mission Impossible, right? And because and I don't even think this is Tom Cruise's fault, right? It's just like shit happens and those movies are hard to make. I think really it's kind of Christopher McQuarrie's fault for being an inefficient writer.
Shit on him now.
It's but it's like the last two Mission Impossible movies, the budgets just fucking ballooned.
Yeah.
Into numbers that like that you cannot spend this much money on a movie for both of them. As they were reporting like $400 million on production, and it's like, you cannot spend that much money on the movie, right? No. And I think that Warner Brothers just looking at this and being like, we can't let this happen.
Yeah, no, this is a bad investment.
That was a Paramount thing. We can't let this happen over here.
Doug Liman's underwater movie. That movie's gonna make $2.
I will say though, I need this movie to happen. I need the underwater adventure movie with fucking Tom Cruise and Ana de Armas to happen, bro. It's just gotta happen. It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick. And also, I think this is like an old script. I think this is a fucking screenplay that they've been sitting on forever.
That's like, not a good sign.
No, bro. Do you know what Tom Cruise movie David Koepp wrote? Do we know this off the top of our heads?
Tom Cruise movie David Koepp wrote?
Yeah.
Is it it's not a franchise movie?
It was supposed to set up a major franchise. It was supposed to be the kicking off point for a major franchise.
David Koepp.
There's a little.
Can I look at Tom Cruise's movies without looking at the writer?
Oh, did he do the Mummy? He did the Mummy.
Yeah, it's the Mummy.
Oh, that's so funny because I was talking about the Mummy today.
Yeah, David Koepp wrote the Mummy.
Like we said, not everybody's a winner.
Yeah, that's tough.
No, I really want this movie to happen. Also, I didn't. Ana de Armas, what a winner, bro. Anyways, great actor.
Have you watched Ballerina yet?
I've seen half of Ballerina.
What happened?
I fell asleep. And then
this is the thing about Doug is that he picks these like kind of people to worship, and then he doesn't even worship them.
Yeah, he's like,
I mean?
I've seen many Ana de Armas.
He's got like 5 actresses who he's like obsessed with, and he doesn't even make the episode. You know what I mean? I'm over here like watching Cillian Murphy movies that nobody's ever heard of. I never see Doug doing that for Ana de Armas
I watched this movie. I watched this movie called I do not claim Sydney Sweeney's not one of my guys, bro. Don't claim.
Oh, Hunter Schafer, whatever.
But it's all, if Hunter Schafer's like in a movie, I'll watch it. She's not in any fucking movies.
It was one of the other. I mean, Scarlett Johansson.
No, dude, I've been through the mud with fucking Ana de Armas. I stopped.
Who's your Mount Rushmore of women actresses?
Of women? What do you?
No, actresses.
I said
actresses. No, my favorite actress is Nicole Kidman. I'm pretty on the record about that, I think.
Oh, that's right. But you skipped her movie to go do something else when we did a podcast on it.
She's in too much.
Yeah, you haven't seen her new slop that she.
You haven't seen any of her shows.
Yeah, all her slop.
You're not watching any of her TV shows. Actually, listeners of the pod you won't remember this because this is a conversation that happened off pod. But I believe I pitched a new Nicole Kidman show to Doug. And he shot it down immediately. He said, "I am not watching."
That's not what happened.
I'm pretty sure he said, "I'm not watching."
No, I said I was super open to watching it. Actually,
I think super open to watching? No, you know what I think I pitched is I said, "Doug, would you catch up on the Nicole Kidman hit Big Little Lies in anticipation of the upcoming 3rd season?" And Doug said, "I'm not watching that."
I said yes. I would.
Okay. All right. Text me when you're done with season 2 of Big Little Lies. Okay.
Okay.
We'll see. I'll update the pod listeners.
Oh, I have Johnny Tell movies to watch.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. So how much do you like Nicole Kidman? Really?
Yeah. Nicole.
Oh my god.
Who are the other 3 actresses? No, inform us.
No, honestly, No, okay, this is such a weird conversation.
What? This is a movie podcast.
Dude, I think Semi Chang is like one of my favorite actresses. Also, just straight up.
Okay.
All
right. No, but I meant like you know what I meant. You know what I meant when
like
I asked
Americans. Like, come on.
Yeah, you know what I meant. I meant like women who you're like weird about on the internet.
Yeah,
no, I think it's just women that I'm weird about on the internet. It opens a whole can of worms that we don't need to get into.
Like those people aren't in movies.
Yeah.
It's like it's like regular people. What were we saying? What were we getting into?
Next piece of news involving a woman that Doug's not weird about. Marissa Abella joins Henry Cavill in Chad Stahelski's Highlander reboot. You guys know Marissa Abella.
Yes.
No bells are ringing.
When are they shooting
She's a star in Industry and more, and to you, Owen, she is one of the characters in Black Bag.
Oh, yes. I remember we probably had this conversation when that movie came out.
Yeah, she is awesome.
In Back to Black.
Oh, yes, all these things are ringing.
Yes. So she joins the Chad Stahelski, Henry Cavill.
That works. I don't know what's gonna happen with that movie.
I'm stoked. This movie's gonna rock. This movie's gonna be fucking awesome, dude. It's gonna be so fucking sick. Yeah. It's gonna come out, and there's gonna be no movie that is like this in theaters, and it's gonna be fucking amazing.
I hope so.
I don't know. If you don't like the way that the John Wick movies look, you might just not, But
I don't like those movies are puzzles to me.
They're puzzles to you.
Like many things. I don't know. Like I was thinking about Spielberg earlier, and even Gareth Edwards and John Wick. It's just like I don't know what's going on here. I don't fully understand it.
Yeah,
the mysteries of the world, right? But I like the idea. There's some idea here, but I could see myself really hating it, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. The next piece of news is several pieces of news all grouped in because they have to do with our favorite subject, TV.
No, how do we even?
We have to. These are like things, These are just like things that we have to mention, and it's a slow news week. Otherwise, I would have cut them out. But what can you do? Neil Druckmann will not return to write season 3 of The Last of Us. Don't jump yet. The Bear has been renewed for season 5. And finally, I'm Glad My Mom Died. The series is set at Apple TV Plus with Jennifer Aniston set to play Jeanette McCurdy's mother.
Wow.
I read this book. McCurdy will be a producer on the series. I have the book. I haven't opened it.
I was confused for a second. I thought,
is it good? I've read it.
Was it good? Or tell us how much you hate Jeanette McCurdy and all of her struggles.
No, it's a fine book. It's a fine memoir. Yeah.
So out of these three pieces of TV news, which do you think is the most impactful?
Well, so I want to talk a little bit about the Neil Druckmann thing just for 2 seconds.
I reacted in the group chat like incorrectly almost for a second because you and I talked about The Last of Us for 10 weeks straight, obviously, or 8 weeks straight, whatever.
Crazy.
I sent this like piece of news in the group chat, and then I immediately said like, "Oh no," because I got him confused with Craig Mason. I just like, to me they're like kind of the same person in my brain.
Yeah, no, Craig Mason is different.
Yeah, but I guess this is why don't you just take it away?
No, well, I don't understand the production for either of these things. His video game, I think is it called Intragalactic? Is that the video game?
You're asking the wrong guy.
I don't know. Well, that's the game he's working on at Naughty Dog. I think it's called Intragalactic, or it's something similar to that. And they teased it at last year's Game Awards is when the teaser trailer played, right? And The Last of Us season 3 is currently being written. So here's my thing. I don't understand the production for these things where it's like Neil Druckmann has to step away from working on the writing of a TV show to focus on being the director of a video game. Both of these things which are not coming out for multiple years. You know what I mean? So I don't understand. I understand that like being the director of a video game at a major, like a AAA video game is like, that's a full-time job where you're working, like 10 hours, nonstop every day. Like I understand that. Right. But it's like, did they not have, I feel like if he really wanted to, they could have figured it out. Like they could have had been writing the show earlier, you know?
Yeah.
Or like it's I don't understand, because like the video game's not coming out for multiple years, and the season of TV is not being shot for multiple years. So
Yeah.
I don't understand
So
why
you're
he had
saying,
to drop
you're
out.
saying like, why did they not just write the script when they were working on everything else?
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy.
No, I don't think that's crazy either.
It's like I understand, like he's directing a video game, which is a super involved process, but so he doesn't have time to write the show because they're writing the show right now. But it's like, why didn't they just write the show earlier? Or like, you know,
yeah,
I don't understand.
I'm interested in the implication though, because it's interesting, because the conversation we had so much week to week about season 2 was that like people who play the game were upset with season 2, and now you're getting rid of the guy who brought the game to life, and now he's not involved in the writing of the next season of the show. So it's like, I wonder if that means people are just going to hate it even more, and it's just going to lean way more into being a TV show as opposed to like trying to stay truthful to the game. Which, like, from my perspective, like, I just kind of like, I don't know, we talked about it on the podcast, and like there's some things that they did differently from the game that were just like clearly a problem because they're actually good in the game, but there's also like a lot of stuff where it's like people were getting angry about a decision that to me just felt very clearly like a choice made for a TV show as opposed to people playing a video game. And so if they just like lean fully into making a TV show, maybe it's just better. Maybe it's just a better season of TV.
The Last of Us is so funny because I am kind of like, yeah, bro, Neil Druckmann, stick to video games, but then I'm also like, Craig Mazin, you're kind of a fucking massive hack. So I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no winning.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about him having free reign a little bit. There's other writers, of course, like there's other writers involved, but like I'm a little bit worried about what it's gonna look like.
Yeah. That's all my thoughts.
I don't know if he writes I don't know if either of them write for me, but I guess I'm just curious. Anyway, The Bear nobody cares about. This Jeanette McCurdy show, you're not gonna watch it because it's on Apple TV, but like
need a million more details to even have an opinion, to be honest.
Yeah, well, because the way they framed it in the piece of news, and I don't know if this is true, but it almost feel like they said like, I wonder if it's like similar story, but not specifically about her exactly, where it's like Jennifer Aniston is playing a mom character, but not literally playing Jeanette McCurdy's mom, or if it's just going to be like exactly what happened to Jeanette McCurdy.
I don't know.
The news wasn't very clear. I'm curious. Yeah. Also, just like, I don't know. It's like funny that Jennifer Aniston, like at this point in her career, is just like, I'm making Netflix movies with Adam Sandler and Apple TV shows.
Was she in Hubie Halloween?
Was she? I think so. I don't know. She was in some. I thought she was in Murder Mystery. No.
Oh, yeah. Murder Mystery. Yeah. Oh, and what's your opinion on Murder Mystery?
It's a fun movie.
There we go.
Oh, really?
I don't know if I saw the sequel.
Did you watch 2?
That's what I'm saying. But I like the I like that. Hubie Halloween's fun too. Sure.
We got
she
Adam
in it?
Sandler.
I don't know if she's in it. I don't
think she's in Hubie Halloween.
No, but we just brought it up.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, the point is she's doing Murder Mystery and Apple TV shows.
We should get Kevin Smith on the podcast and do a full Adam Sandler career ranking.
Wow. I've really been meaning to watch that one.
That one?
Going Overboard?
Yeah.
No way, that's what you
I've been meaning to watch it, but I haven't. I forgot the name. What it looks
no way, that's the movie you're like, I've been meaning to
watch. Adam Sandler has 50
I
movies.
like it.
Also, are we? This is just like this is a question we should have off pod, but I guess also funny to have it on pod. Are we gonna talk about Happy Gilmore 2
it's
on the
like
pod?
bad jokes on a boat. I think it's interesting.
Going Overboard has a Letterboxd rating of 1.4.
Yeah, but
average.
What if it's good?
And that's not even his lowest rated movie.
I think it literally is. Hold on.
No, isn't Jack and Jill like a 0.9?
That's or something. Going Overboard's definitely
no. Going Overboard is a lower rating than Jack and Jill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is like
Jack and Jill's 1.5. It's not far off though.
Yeah. Going Overboard. It's also his first movie, isn't it? His first movie.
Exactly. That's why it's
the banner / poster for Going Overboard is like
this is like one of the great posters. It's so funny. It's like this would be such an awesome poster to like hang up. It's so funny.
Yeah.
I love it.
Let's jump quickly
Are
into
we
our
doing
last...
Happy Gilmore too? When does that come out?
Poster.
It comes out pretty soon. I think I mentioned it to you guys, but I don't know.
How much is this cost?
I don't know.
Because it comes out at the end of this month.
Doesn't
it's the same. It's the same week as Fantastic Four, which is an episode that I just don't think I'm gonna even be on. So it's really up to you guys if you want to talk about Happy Gilmore too, I guess. Which is funny because I think I'm the only one who likes the first Happy Gilmore, unless you guys are big fans.
This is gonna be a rough episode. It's gonna be a rough episode.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway. Last piece of news that's not even really news, but just a thing that has to be mentioned. At the beginning or just before Jurassic World Rebirth starts, there is our first teaser trailer for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
Which will now be playing before every movie for the rest of the summer, probably. But it's there at the beginning of Jurassic World Rebirth, and now everybody has been talking about it. So this is your opportunity to share your thoughts about the Odyssey teaser trailer.
Who has a tale about Odysseus? It's cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I also think it's
They're
cool.
Still shooting the movie. But it looks cool. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Tom Holland is crying. He's like super upset. He's like, "Where the fuck's my dad?" And then we get a back shot of his dad, Matt Damon.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. I think Owen's already, Owen said this privately in our group chat where he was talking about John Bernthal's just like awesome line readings. It's like he's like, Odysseus. I haven't heard of Odysseus in Troy. It's like real actor shit.
I like
John Bernthal's like such
in this.
Yeah. He's like such an like annoying guy to me who like is also just like so clearly has like the movie star juice, and I just like wish his whole deal was different.
I hope he's like
it's
Heat
good.
3.
It's good that he's in this.
Or Heat 2, sorry. Heat 3. I hope he's in Heat 2.
Yeah. I mean that'd be sick. Yeah. I don't know. I just like he's like on screen, he's just like such a cool guy to me to just like be an annoying guy that exists in general. And I just like wish he did more cool on screen shit. It's just like and just annoyed me less. I'm just like, this guy's kind of awesome, but it's good that he's
got him in the Punisher,
the Odyssey.
The Punisher jail. They got him in the Bear jail and the Punisher jail.
He's gonna be the new Spider-Man.
Yeah, in the Bear, he just like pisses me off every time he's on screen. When he shows up in the Bear, I'm just like, whatever, dude. Like,
I can find a thing for him. I like him. Yeah. I like him. But one of those guys who's like, unfortunately, in a lot of garbage. There's only
Listen, he's so fun in The Accountant too.
Nobody's perfect.
He's so fun.
Nobody's perfect. I hope Michael Mann save him. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Odyssey.
The Odyssey trailer. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm as excited.
Yeah,
the excitement hasn't really changed. The teaser is just like cool, but it's just kind of the teaser played, and I was like, yeah, that's what I expected, and I'm just as excited as I was.
Yeah, that first trailer is gonna be kind of nutty.
Yeah.
Tom Holland
I'm really excited.
To be seen.
Bro, they got IMAX cameras on big ass drones. Did you see that?
Yeah.
They got the IMAX film camera on drones.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's our last thing. Is there anything else going on in the world you guys want to talk about on the news segment?
Like in the world?
Yeah.
It's like any news, really. We could just pull in.
How do we feel about BBB?
Yeah, I was like, that's like the real news.
The big baller brand.
The big baller, the big baller brand name has been stained a little, huh?
I mean,
I haven't really thought about the consequences of
without
this
those shoes. With Lonzo beyond the Cavaliers right now, probably not.
I'm really excited for Lonzo on the Cavs. I'm not excited for the Bill.
Remember when Lonzo was on the Lakers?
Yeah, dude, I remember that.
That's just crazy.
Lonzo was a wee lad.
Oh man, Lonzo.
I love Lonzo.
Remember
when
Lonzo Morning
was like 10 years old?
Yeah, Lonzo being amazing for the Cavs would do awesome things for my mental health.
Okay, do we think that the Avatar, The Way of Water trailer, do we think first teaser, do we think it's going to play before Fantastic Four? No?
I don't know. I think they might hold it.
What are they
The
waiting
Avatar
for,
thing is
though?
like,
What are they
no, but the Avatar thing is like weird because it's like they could just not release the first trailer until like 3 months before the movie comes out, and it'll still make $2 billion. You know, so I feel like their marketing perspective is not, but like hyping up the big next like Christopher Nolan thing a year ahead of time is like
the
it's like
Way
something
of
they really want
Water
to get like, people
teaser.
talking about.
The Way of Water teaser came out in June, and they just posted that shit online.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. No, maybe. I mean, maybe they'll.
The only thing is, like, the teaser has to play before a movie that plays in 3D, like that has 3D options.
Maybe they deleted it. Like
maybe
they're like fuck, we have to make a whole new Avatar movie.
No, see, Owen, I didn't even think
like,
maybe they deleted it.
Fuck, they deleted it.
Wait, it's like the trailer. There's like, Jimmy C, I'm so sorry, I deleted it. Didn't save.
There's no backup
file. And then and Jimmy C's just like, it's okay, we'll wait. No,
what if
I think that I'm also, it's just gonna cope. I'm just like coping, like, oh, it's gonna play before Fantastic Four. But
yeah,
I
mean, it'd be cool if it does.
But there's like no leaks or anything. Like nobody's even talking about it.
Spaghetti.
Yeah, I don't. It'll just sneak up on us.
I hope so.
I mean, that'll one day it'll play.
One day.
Okay, we've talked about it enough this episode. Next week, episode 126, we're gonna be talking about Superman. James Gunn's Superman.
What if we just come on and we just talk about the Richard Donner movie instead?
Well, it's not really a surprise anymore if you just said it in the episode. But
do you think people listen to this all the way through?
At least a few, yeah.
Okay.
I'd say at least 2% of our listeners go beginning to end on the pod.
Just one guy?
Yeah, or just one guy at least, and he'll spoil it for everybody else in the comments.
Yeah. It's gonna be the only comment.
All right. Next week, Superman. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.